In this video, we are going to check if the input string is having valid brackets. Hello, I am Jagan from growwithdata. I am posting this video to share my knowledge in Python language with you. If this assists you in interview preparation anyways, I will be happy. First, let's see the sample input data and we can talk about the question in detail. We are given a string which contains only the characters of the brackets, the closed brackets, open brackets, the curly brackets, solid brackets, only the 6 characters, 6 letters. So for example, this is the input string. If you see, we have a curly bracket which has a closed bracket, corresponding closed bracket, and we have a solid bracket which has a corresponding one. So this is a valid input. What is called invalid? We say this. So this also has a open bracket and closed bracket, but if you see the sequence, we have open and closed. In between there is only open. The closed is now outside the bracket, so this is invalid. Same way, if you say this and this, right? So we have a different open bracket and different closed bracket, so this is invalid. So what is the definition of valid and invalid? The input string is valid if you pass the 3 conditions. The open bracket must be closed by the same type of bracket. The second one is the open bracket must be closed in the correct order. Third one is even the empty string is also considered a valid string. Okay, so this is what the condition is. Now let's check how to code. Let's take this as the input string, and we have a function growwithdata. So we are going to start with a dictionary which has a key value pair, where the key is the closed bracket and the value is the corresponding open bracket. Okay, so we have the 3 types of brackets here, and we are going to have a list which is going to track all the open brackets. Okay, so we are going to store all the open brackets here, and we are checking whether we are getting the corresponding closed brackets. Let's start a loop. First thing is, if not I in match pair, the dictionary. So the dictionary is having the key which is only the closed bracket. If it's not in the match pair, that means it's a open bracket. Deposit dot append the open bracket. If not, if the bracket exists in the match pair, that means it's a closed bracket. So if there is a closed bracket and we don't have anything in the list, the deposit, deposit, right? If nothing is in the deposit, means we haven't find any open bracket, but we got a closed bracket, then it's a invalid string. Or the last string, last bracket we get in the list is not matching with the value we are getting in the dictionary. Okay, so we are getting a bracket, a closed bracket like this, and the deposit, the list is blank. That means the open bracket is not there, it's false. Or the last value of the list, right? If the deposit is having an open bracket like the curly bracket as the last one, but we received something like a solid bracket, this closed bracket, that means it's a contrast, right? Curly open and the solid closed, then it's a wrong one. So we just say it's a false. Else, if it's the right one, if there's a open bracket and we get the corresponding closed bracket, then we just pop the last bracket in the list. At the end of the day, at the end of the loop, if still there's value in the deposit, that means there are open brackets, the corresponding closed brackets doesn't exist, then this is an invalid string. and then we just return true if everything is good. Okay, let's run this and see if this works. True, this is a valid one. If you remove something, it's a false. Okay, let's see how this works. So we have a dictionary key value pair with a closed as the key, open as the value, and then comes here we are having the first value as the curly bracket, right? So if not I in the match pair, so the open bracket is not in the match pair, then yes, it's good, it's the open bracket. So we append that to the list. Okay, so we have a list of this, and then it goes to the next value. The next is also a open bracket. It checks the open bracket is not in the dictionary, good. Then we are going to append that to the list. It's a open bracket. Okay, so the list, and then goes to the third one, which is a close bracket. It comes here, close bracket exists in the dictionary, so the function fails. So here it comes, it checks if not deposit, no, deposit is having value, or the last value of -1. The last value of -1 is what? This close bracket, right? So that open bracket is the last value here, right? This goes with the close bracket, right? It's not matching, no, it's matches, right? So the open bracket, and then when you say check with the close bracket, it gives you the open bracket, right? So when you check this as a close bracket, it gives you the open bracket. So open bracket matches open bracket, so the condition fails. So it comes here to the pop and it will delete the close bracket. So the list will have only the curly bracket now. Okay, and then it goes here, it gets the closed curly bracket. The closed curly bracket exists in the dictionary, so this condition fails. It comes here, it checks the closed curly bracket, it checks the dictionary, what is the corresponding closed bracket? It's the open bracket, right? So it shows the, sorry, here's the open bracket. So the dictionary part, if not deposit, no, this one, and the -1, sorry, -1 is this, right? Yeah, so the dictionary, sorry, the list will have this open. So the open bracket, when you check the dictionary, the key value pair gives the open bracket, the condition matches. So the second one also fails, it comes here, it pops the open bracket, so the list is blank. It comes here, if deposit, no, then it comes here, it returns true. When there is a wrong part of it, it returns false, because the third one is going to be the close bracket here, right? Close bracket, it checks the close bracket exists, so it comes here, this value is not going to be, like, close bracket will show you the open bracket. So the open bracket and this open bracket doesn't matches, so it will return false, right? So that's how this code works. This is a very simple code, right? So the best way to do is, we can do some coding changes to make better coding standards, right? So before that, we can just see the practice cases. So let's see if we can bring in more test cases to see if this works. So we have a open and closed. Here is also it's open and closed. This is a wrong one, false. This is also a wrong one, and this is a right one, and this is a wrong one, don't have a closed one. So everything, oh, okay, it shows some error. This one is false. Okay, so what is it returning? So return equal to false. So sorry, return false. So return. So it comes here and this return false. So at the end it is going to have this in the deposit. So it comes here and it checks. So this one will trigger only for this case. That's why. So return false and this works. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 test cases. Everything is good. Now how to change this if condition? We have a lot of test cases. Let's clean up this. How will you write a better code here? Let's check. Okay, so we have if for I in yes, if I not in, right? So what we can do is if I in the dictionary, right? So we just have, let's do a different one. Okay, let's have a different one. So after this for loop we can do if I in the dictionary, then we are just going to have the top top element equal to, we are going to get the last element of the list. Okay, we are going to get that if deposit. So if there is value in the deposit, then you get the last element from it. If not, you get a default value. Okay, if there is nothing in the deposit, it gets this and it's anyways going to fail, right? If there is a value, then you pop the last value. If the dictionary's value is not equal to the popped one, then it's a false. If not, deposit dot append I. So return so this is a simpler way of returning it. So instead of having if deposit return false, we can rewrite this like we just say false if deposit else true. So we can write this way also, the previous code, right? Previous code we can instead of having if condition and then a return part, we can just write the same thing. It works the same. Or we can just say not deposit. So if deposit is blank, it's going to return true. If the deposit is not blank, it's going to return false. So we can simplify the code like that. So instead of the if and then a return, we just say return not deposit. So instead of this long conditions, we can simply write this way, right? And this works the same way. So people who haven't seen the pop function before, right? We have it in our previous videos. If you don't have it, I can just show you an example. We just say test equal to the list, say A, B, C, right? If I say check equal to tst dot pop, what will this do is the pop will take the last element from the list and then saves in that one. So we can just say print check equal to check and then task equal to task. So tst. So if you see this, test is A, B and C. If I pop, the C will assign to the check and the list will be truncated to A and B. If I have D like this and if I pop, D will be popped to the check and A, B, C will be the final list. Okay, so that's what we are doing. So we just pop from the dictionary if it's a valid dictionary, list. If it's a valid list, you pop the last element and then you check that with the dictionary's open part. If you get a closed bracket, we pop the last element in the list and check with the value of that closed bracket. If that works, then we will come here. If not, it will just return false. Okay, this is another simpler way of representing it. There is one more way which we can show to the interviewer, saying that you know more about the dictionary, right? So yeah, I know how the dictionary works. For example, if you have the match pair as a dictionary, right? So here, if I say match pair dot keys, right? If I say match pair dot keys, it will bring all the key, all the close brackets. If I say match pair dot values, when you do that, it will bring all the values, the right side of the element, right? So it gives all the open brackets. Okay, so if I say want to bring both key and value, right? Key val in match pair dot items, right? If we have this, print key equal to the key, value equal to the val. Oh, better close it. So if you see this, when you say the items, it will bring the key value pair, where the key is the closed one, the value is the open one, right? So that's how you manipulate the dictionary. We are going to use this and we are going to change this code. Okay, so we are going to start with the same dictionary, and then we are going to work on the dictionary property. Okay, so when you get every element of the string, you say if I in the matched pair. That means if it's a closed dictionary dot values, that means the open one, right? If it's a open bracket, deposit dot append I. So we check if it's a open, then you increment this one. Previously at the last we just appended, right? So here we use the values part, dictionary dot values, and we do it. Else if I in the matched pair dot keys. So if it's a closed bracket, then we just say if not deposit, means if the list is blank or the closed bracket is not equal to deposit dot pop. So the closed bracket key value, the value is not equal to the last the list, then return false. And then last time we saw it, right? Return not deposit. If that is the case, right? If there is any elements exist in the list, then it's a false. If not, it's true. So this is a invalid one, this is a valid one, and if you want to test all the test cases, it should pass, right? Good. So we start with a basic looping part of it. The second exercise, we fine tune the code using the pop, and then we reduce the number of steps. The third one, we played around with the dictionary property to impress the interviewer, saying that yes, we know more about the dictionaries. Right? Hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.